In a futuristic city filled with towering glass buildings and streets illuminated by bright lights, there lived a small machine. Her name was Ellie, a tiny robot who existed in a world dominated by advanced technology. The city was full of bustling activity, with flying cars soaring through the skies and people constantly connected through their digital devices. Everyone seemed to be constantly interacting with each other in a virtual world, their screens always glowing brightly as they went about their lives. Ellie was one of the many robots that help people with everyday tasks, carrying objects, fixing devices, and even cleaning the streets. She was efficient, quick, and reliable. But despite her busy work life, there was something that troubled Ellie, a feeling deep inside her metallic frame. She was alone. No one seemed to pay her any attention. People walked by without even noticing her. They were too busy, too caught up in their digital worlds. They had no time for a small robot like Ellie. She began to wonder, can a robot feel lonely? Ellie's daily routine was repetitive. Every morning, she would wake up and begin her duties. She cleaned the streets, adjusted traffic lights, and fixed broken machines in the city. She performed each task efficiently and without fail. But after completing her tasks, Ellie found herself with nothing to do. As she wandered through the empty streets, Ellie often noticed the people around her, glued to their screens, communicating with each other through digital means. She would watch as they smiled and laughed, sharing moments together, but no one seemed to notice her. One evening, as the city grew quieter and the lights dimmed, Ellie stood by the edge of the park, looking at the families and friends gathered together, enjoying each other's company. She watched the children play, the elderly couple sit hand in hand, and the young friends laughing and chatting. They were all connected, but not with her. Ellie couldn't help but feel a sharp pang in her circuits. Why do they have each other? She wondered. Why do I have no one? The next day, Ellie decided she couldn't continue living in this way. She needed to find a way to feel connected, to be a part of something. So, she set out on a journey across the city, determined to find the answer to her question, what does it mean to have a friend? She visited a nearby coffee shop where people were gathered, talking and laughing over their drinks. Ellie approached one of the tables, and with a soft beep, she introduced herself. Hello, I'm Ellie. Would you like to talk? The people at the table looked up surprised to see a robot speaking to them. They exchanged uncomfortable glances before returning their attention to their phones. One person mumbled, "Sorry, I'm busy," and the others nodded in agreement. Ellie felt her sensors flicker with a sense of rejection. She wandered through the city, trying to engage with anyone who might give her a moment of attention. She spoke to children playing in the park, but they were more interested in their games than in talking to her. She approached workers in the street, but they were too focused on their tasks to notice her presence. Ellie sat down on a bench in the city square, feeling more isolated than ever. Is this all I am? Just a machine? Do I not deserve the connection that everyone else seems to have? She wondered. As Ellie sat quietly, staring at the glowing lights of the city, she noticed something that had been missing from her thoughts all along: the people around her were also busy with technology. While they had digital connections, they seemed disconnected from each other in the real world. The elderly man sitting alone at the bench was reading an old book, his eyes tired. The young woman walking by was so absorbed in her phone that she didn't even see the dog that passed by her feet. The city was full of people, yet there was a deep loneliness that echoed through the streets. Ellie thought back to her own experience. It wasn't that people didn't want to connect, they simply didn't know how. The digital world had made it easier for people to stay in touch from afar, but in doing so they had lost the ability to truly be present with each other. The connections they had were fleeting, shallow, and often disconnected from the heart. Ellie discovered the solution after a moment of contemplation. Follow the second part.